Yes, I'll have a knuckle sandwich. Yes, I'll have a knuckle sandwich.
Hey, you guys, we're back. Okay, welcome back, Nando. We have been there. We go. We have been gone for a week, and it was good because they didn't have a fight last week, right?
Right.
There was no fight, so we took some time off too. And but we're back and we're excited. There's so many crazy things going on with the UFC right now, and the first thing I want to bring up is a guy named Bo Nichols. Nando, what's your thoughts on this dude?
Bo Nichols called out Hamzat. He called out Israel Adesanya. He's calling out everybody. He's ready for a top five fight, and then he wants to fight for the title. Dana said he's not doing it. He's not. You know that's the kind of attitude we want in the UFC. But no, we're gonna give him probably someone unranked. I think they should give someone in the top 15.
Yeah, I agree with you because, but if he starts finishing them, if he starts pulling a Hamzat and just ripping through people, then he becomes in the conversation as quickly as Hamzat did because Hamzat was in the conversation, after what 2 or 3 fights,
Yeah.
because he was taking one after the other. He's like, "Give me another one, give me another one." What, I didn't even sweat. I didn't even get hit. What are you talking about?
Yeah. I think in that top 15, you got Chris Curtis, Brad Tavares. He could even Kevin Gastelum. But I think that's probably if they want to push him against Hamzat, I'd give him Darren Till.
Oh, Darren Till. Wow. I think he murdered Darren Till.
Yeah, I mean Darren Till's 11. That would be kind of a big jump, but yeah, I
Yeah,
think they can.
Till hasn't fought in a long time now, though.
No,
So,
he fought in like 3 years. It feels like.
yeah, and
I
Nichols
don't know
has
what his
fought
last fight
twice.
was. Hmm?
Nichols has fought twice pretty close together.
The last time I remember doing Till fighting was against Tyrone Woodley. I can't remember a fight after that. Maybe the Jorge Masvidal was after that.
See, now you guys know that Nando is old school because he keeps bringing up all these dudes from way back in the day. Tyrone Woodley.
That's the last time he fought. Who was the last person he fought?
That's true, though. You're right.
I
It's been
can't.
a long time, man. Gosh, it's been a long time. Hey, you know what I
I
forgot to
can't.
do? Welcome to Knuckle Sandwich, you guys. MMA. Knuckle Sandwich MMA. We're back. We're excited. See, I got so excited. I forgot to even mention our brand. But yeah, we're back. Glad to see Nando again. And yeah, this Nichols guy, he's taken the world by storm. But there's another kid that they just signed for the Contender Series that's 17 years old. Come on, man.
Yeah, it's very interesting. What weight class is he in?
I don't know. I really don't know. I'll
I
have to go
saw
back
his
and look.
interview and I saw his like clips of his fight, but I didn't get the part where they said what age he was.
Yeah, he's
He's
17.
got to be in the.
He had to have his parents sign to allow him to fight in the UFC.
So that's the
So anyway,
youngest.
I'm just amazed at the amount of talent out there, Nando. I know. Both of us, both you and I, are old school as far as when it comes to being fans of MMA, of going back, 20 years, whatever. But when you see the talent, and how much the skill level has raised, right, in
Right.
MMA itself, it's just amazing.
Yeah, we have mixed people that have all kinds of martial arts, and then we have a surge coming back where people are just specialists again.
Yeah,
Like,
that's true. That's very true. It's cool how it morphs. Now, with that being said, we've got a fight card at the Apex in Las Vegas, a UFC fight card coming up this weekend, Saturday, October 1st at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So Mountain Standard Time, it is 5 p.m., right? Because we go,
I
no,
think so.
it's 9 p.m. 9 p.m. our time. I got it all mixed up. I'm still too excited. But here's the thing. Now, tell me your thoughts on this, because I think this is a very important point. They have closed off the Apex to the public. What's that all about, Nando?
And the media. They have no media there either. And the speculation right now, I mean, this is just what people are saying. Ariel Helwani and other people are saying that Mark Zuckerberg rented out the whole thing, and it's him and his people from Facebook and other people. I don't know. I mean, that's possible. You would think that Mark Zuckerberg would want a bigger fight card, but that's probably what he can get. He is really into jiu-jitsu though, and you have one of the best jiu-jitsu women right now trying to get into that title picture.
Well, apparently, our first fight that we're going to be talking about, Mackenzie Dern let the cat out of the bag, but right on the tail of that, Dana White refuted that claim, but he wouldn't say what it was, and he had this sly smile on his face, like, you know. But I don't know. I think Mackenzie Dern, you know, because he called her out like in that press conference. Did you see that?
No, I saw. It must have been the press conference before that. The one I saw was the Contender, and he said that nothing like that was going to happen.
Yeah, but he called her out. I think it was at that Contender one at the end, because he said, and that little troublemaker over there. So she was in the audience.
Oh, that's who he was talking about?
Yeah, he was talking to Mackenzie Dern.
Oh, okay. That makes more sense.
And that piqued everyone's interest. The reporters in the room, you and me, that piqued our interest. Like, what's going on here? Is it really Zuckerberg that is having his people? Is he trying to get into a position to do MMA in the UFC? You know what I mean? Like the Logan Brothers or the Paul brothers?
No, I don't think that. I think they're gonna try to do some, because originally, I don't know how far ago, they used to have some of the prelims on Facebook Live. So I mean, he might be trying to work with Facebook and do some things, some exclusive interviews, some Facebook content. Yeah,
or making more money. I do that too. I do that too.
My favorite part was the part where he said, "You newscasters, you media are just working so hard. I just want to give you guys a week off. You guys are just working so hard." And the one guy goes, "Hey Dana, I'd like to thank you for giving me the day off."
Those guys in the reporters, the reporter pool, they were chomping at the bit, man. Give us something, give us anything. And he was like, "Nope, you ain't getting nothing. And you little troublemaker, you better watch it." All right, well, let's get to this card. Now, this card is an interesting card, Nando, in many aspects. First and foremost, to have on the main fight of the card, on the main card, you're having number 5 versus number 6. So we have Mackenzie Dern, who's at minus 225 on the odds, versus Jianan Yan, who's number 6 with a plus 190. What's your take on this particular match?
I think it's gonna be very, very interesting. I mean, Mackenzie Dern is training with Perillo. She's a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu under her dad, which is Megatron. She's 12-2. She's 4-5 of the last. She has a win over Tisha Torres, Nina Nunez, and Ronda Marcos. And it's interesting. I don't really like her stand-up, so she's gonna have to get it to the ground. Now, Yan is Team Alpha Male. She's 15-3, 5 of the last 6. She lost to Carla Esparza and Maureen Rodriguez, which they both lost to. And she has a win over Claudia Gadelia, Carolina, and Angela Hill. So here's the thing. They're trying to get a good matchup. Like, hopefully a good matchup would be Esparza versus Mackenzie Dern, Wei Li versus Yan. You know what I mean? And that would be really big for the UFC to have two Chinese people fighting. They might even do it in China. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
that's big. That's big. I like that. I like that. I like your thoughts on that because I hadn't even considered that of the what's next after this fight. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting fight. But one thing that I can tell you that I've seen in Mackenzie Dern is her stand up has improved significantly. She's nowhere near. I think Jan is a better striker by far. However, Dern has improved a lot, because when you can figure out what somebody's going to do, right? When you can figure out their moves, and Dern was getting in that position where, the fighters were just ready to stop takedowns, and try and stop the takedown. But now that they were catching up with her, so to speak, in that aspect of her game, then all of a sudden she starts, okay, well, we got to start striking because we have to give them something to think about, And when you are fighting an opponent and you don't know whether they're going to, double leg you, or strike with you, or throw a kick, that's a lot of stuff to be aware of. You know what I mean? If you're a one-trick pony, then it's easier to start to figure out and try and stay off the ground, try and stay out of her wheelhouse. And Jan, her ground game's not the strongest. She's pretty good at scrambling, but Dern definitely has the advantage on the ground, whereas Jan has the advantage on the feet. But I think with the increased skill level of Dern coming in, I think I don't know, man. Who do you got on this fight?
I think Mackenzie Dern has a way more she has more tools in the shed. You know what I mean? And the thing is, I don't think Jan should ground and pound because I was watching. I forgot what this girl tried to ground and pound Mackenzie, and she got her in a leg lock, and it was nasty. And that's the biggest thing that I think some of these wrestling people are going to learn is that the leg lock is the equalizer to the ground and pound because you don't want that guy standing up or whatever. That's kind of like I can't remember, but like Shamrock and the Lions Den, those legs locks were brutal. I think Mackenzie Dern, if she can keep her guessing, hands up, keep it moving, and then as soon as it goes to the ground, it's probably going to be over. And if I was Dawn and Team Alpha Male, Uriah Faber, and all those, I would tell her keep it standing, don't go to the ground, don't let her do the Charles Oliveira, put her head back, and don't just keep on. If she's down, smack her legs, smack her inner thighs, her calves, but don't let it go to the ground. Keep it fast. Keep her coming. Move laterally. Keep don't let this get close. What are your thoughts?
I agree with you on that. I mean, and that's a good solid strategy. And I'm sure you're basically said what Team Alpha Male will, what their strategy is, and it makes sense. I am going to pick Dern on this one because to me, she seems to have her eye on the prize, man. She's so close, and I think she's hungrier. And that might not be fair to say because you don't see Jan doing much, videos or social media or anything like that. So you don't know. I'm sure she's working hard and wants to be champion too. But Dern has this look in her eyes, that she's like, I'm this close and nothing's going to stop me. So I'm going to side with Dern on this one. I think she's going to submit her.
So do you think the winner fights for the title, or you think there's one more fight for the winner?
It depends. It depends on. Now, I think the winner of this fight will fight for the title. even regardless of who wins out of Esparza and Whaley. I just think, but I think I agree with you. If Jan wins and Whaley wins, to make that fight in China is massive, is a massive fight. So good on you, man. That's good info. All right, let's move down to the next one. Randy Brown versus Francisco Trinaldo. Now, this particular fight is going to be pretty action-packed. Trinaldo is a striker, and Brown is a striker. Trinaldo has a pretty good ground game, whereas I believe his ground game is better than Brown's for sure. However, there is a huge age discrepancy. Talk to me about the stats on this fight.
Okay, Randy Brown's 32. He's 15-4, 4-5. He lost to Vicente Luque. He's a long fighter. He's lanky. Now, Francisco Trinaldo's 44. He's 28-8, 4-5. He's a great grappler. He's short. And what I was noticing is everybody likes to bring up old man strength. It's like everything I was watching, I was like, man, okay. Yeah, I mean, old man strength, but I guess he is really old for that weight class. But yeah, he definitely has, when he gets to that person, he just pulls them down and does whatever he wants. Now, Randy Brown, he's Jamaican, right?
Yeah.
I think that it's hard. I think he's got the distance. I think he's got youth on his side, and I think he's gonna he's not gonna let, but I mean, if Trinaldo gets him, I think he can take him down. Can he get back up? Probably. But I think it's gonna be a very good fight. I think it's gonna go all, what is it, 3 rounds, right?
All right. Well, we've got Randy Brown at minus 315 and Trinaldo at plus 260. One thing about Trinaldo, I think he's discovered the fountain of youth.
You think so?
He doesn't look 44, man.
You don't think so? He doesn't look 32.
Yeah, he doesn't look 44. That dude is cut. He's always in shape. He doesn't have a pot belly or anything like that. And to be fighting at 44, is he the oldest? I'm pretty sure he's the oldest fighter in UFC right now. But do you recall how old Randy Couture was when he retired?
Randy, no.
I think he was 44 or 45. And here's Trinaldo, and he's still looking good. And this fight, if he loses, it's not one of these, my back's against the wall, I'm going to get cut by the UFC, because he's a pretty exciting fighter. He brings it every time he comes. But my pick is going to be Randy Brown, and I'm going to tell you exactly how he's going to do it.
Okay.
Are you ready for this?
Yes.
A head kick. He's going to knock out Trinaldo with a head kick. Nando is stunned, my friends. He's stunned. He's speechless.
Yeah, you're probably right. No, I was looking up the Randy's age as the oldest. When he fought Silva, he was 43. So yeah, Trinaldo's the oldest. Glover Teixeira was the oldest champion recently at 42. So we got a lot of older cats.
So what do you think of my prediction?
Yeah, I think it's very possible, because Trinaldo likes to come down. He's already, like, I don't know the height difference, but he's definitely not a tall guy.
Randy Brown's going to pull Leon Edwards on Trinaldo.
You think so?
Yep, I do. All right, my friend, let's move on to the next one. We've got Ronnie Barcelos from Brazil versus Trevin Jones from the United States. And We've got a minus 215 for Barcelos and a plus 185 for Jones. What are your thoughts on this matchup here?
Well, Barcelos, he's 16-3. He's 3-5. He's a five-time wrestling champ in Brazil. He's a black belt. Trevin Jones, 32, 13-8. Two wins, 2 losses, 1 no contest of the last 5. He was living in Louisiana. He moved to Guamania to be with his uncle in the Marines. He has great stand-up. I think I was watching Barcelos. His wrestling is very surprising for a Brazilian. Like you don't see a lot of Brazilians with really good wrestling. I mean, you see them with MMA wrestling, but not like national wrestling, which is good and lets him loosen up his hands because he's not scared and he knows that he can dictate. That's the thing about a wrestler; they know they can dictate where the fight goes, and if they're in trouble, you know, just the movement of another person's body is everybody talks about them taking each other down, but getting in there, hitting them, dirty boxing, pushing him, manhandling the other person puts a lot of wear and tear on the fighter. I think Trevin Jones to southpaw, good stand up. I think it's going to be a tough night for Trevin Jones.
I agree. Who do you got winning this fight?
I got Barcelos.
Okay, I do too. One thing that these dudes are going to do, they're going to throw some hard punches, man. This is going to be, I think it's going to be a really, really good fight. I think it's going to be a competitive fight, but I do pick Barcelos to win this fight. All right, let's move on. Now, this is up next is one of my personal favorite fighters, Yusuf, Sodiq Yusuf versus Don Sheamus. And I'm not familiar with Don Sheamus because, well, first of all, there's no picture of him on the UFC.com website. There's just a silhouette, so I don't know.
Yeah, it just looks like this the shadow back here.
Shadow guy. But I know Yusuf is a heck of a fighter, man. He looks really good all the time. He's very fast, very crisp, clean, accurate. I love his style, and the odds, they don't even have odds posted on this one, probably because Sheamus maybe it's his debut. What are your thoughts?
Okay, the stats are Yusuf is 29, he's 12-2, 4-5. He has wins over Alexis, Andre Philly. He lost to Arnold Allen, but Arnold Allen is a tough wrestling kind of guy. Aggressive. He walks people down. So that's what I like. Okay, now about Don Sheamus, he's 12-3. He has a 5-fight win streak. He's a great wrestler. Good ground and pound. I watched one video. I think it was from, I don't remember what organization. I didn't write it down. It might have been the Combates in Mexico, but I'm not sure. But yeah, he looks good. I can't remember exactly what he looks like, but yeah, I think they're trying to, because Yusuf is ranked 12th right now. So this guy, I think this is his debut, and he's coming in to, already against a ranked fighter. But I think it's a bad matchup for Sheamus. I don't like the matchup, but yeah, it's going to be really interesting. I don't have a lot on the Sheamus guy.
Okay. And so you're picking Yusuf?
Yusuf.
Yeah. Okay. Wow, we're pretty much in agreement this time. Okay, let's go. Let's move along. We've got John Castaneda versus Daniel Santos. United States, John Castaneda from United States, and Daniel Santos from Brazil. We got the odds on Castaneda's side at minus 190 with a plus 160 on Santos' side. What are your thoughts on this fight?
Castaneda is 30. Santos is 27. Castaneda is 19-5. He's 3-5. He has wins over Miles Jones, which was a triangle, Eddie Weiland, which was a TKO. Now Daniel Santos is 27. He's 10-2, 3-5. He had one fight. He was on a 2-year layoff. He had one fight against Julio Arce and he lost. So it's very interesting. I couldn't find any fights. So I listened to somebody else basically talk about him. And they were saying it's very interesting because he came back. He's got a really tough fight in Castaneda. Castaneda is not an easy fight. And for him to have a loss, be off for 2 years, it looks like they're setting up Castaneda. But you don't want to sleep on somebody like that because he knows his back is against the wall.
Yeah, I agree with that. So who are you picking on this one?
Castaneda.
Yep. Okay. I'm glad you're seeing things my way.
He's seeing things your way now.
All right. Next up, we have Mike Davis versus Vyacheslav Borshev.
Yeah,
And we are looking at, there's no odds listed on this fight. However, I can tell you right now who I think is going to win this fight. And it's going to be by TKO or knockout. And that's going to be, I picked Borshev to win this fight. I think that dude is vicious. And you mentioned previously that you like it when the fighter walks down his opponent. That's what this guy does. He walks down, keeps you on the back foot, and keeps you, guessing. And he can take a punch too. So that's my pick on that one. What do you got?
Okay, I wish we could agree this whole fight card, but we can't. All right, Mike Davis is 29. Borshev is 30. They call him Slavakos. He's 6-2, 4-5. He is a great counter. I watched the thing on the Contender when the guy they were in a fight and he just perfectly that left hook. But Mike Davis, he lost to Burns. He's aggressive, good wrestling. He had a fight. I think the guy's name was Jones, and they were just going at it. And I like his aggressiveness. And I
saw that fight.
Yeah, and I think it's either gonna be his win or his demise. But I think it's gonna be a great fight, and I think he's gonna put Slava Claus going backwards. And if Slava is gonna get that counter, it's gonna be there. But I like Mike Davis.
Well, I don't like the fact that you broke our consistency with this. So here's what I'm doing. I'm laying down a challenge to Nando for all of you guys to win this, okay? I'm going to bet you one ice cold beer on this particular fight. You accept?
Okay. I accept. I won't drink it because tomorrow starts Sober October, and I don't drink for the whole month of October. But if I win,
that's okay. You won't be drinking a beer. I will.
Okay.
You won't have to worry about it, my friend. All right. Now we're going to go through the prelims, and we're going to move through this pretty quick because we've got to finish this thing up in 5 minutes. So Ilir Latifi versus Alexei Olenek. And I like both of these guys. They're both bangers. They call Olenek what do they call him? The constrictor, the boa constrictor?
Yeah, he has 14 Ezekiel chokes.
Yeah,
in his
that
career.
dude, he can choke you from any angle. It doesn't matter where he's at. If he gets you, he's got these vice grip arms that just wrap around you and choke. And he doesn't even have to get under the chin. I mean, he squeezes your head so hard, you're going to want to tap just because you feel like your brain's going to pop out of the top. But then you got Latifi, who can punch like nobody's business. And he punches hard. So you're going to have the striker versus the grappler on this fight. And who do you have on this fight?
I like Latifi. I like Olenek a lot, but I'm gonna go with Latifi. I think Latifi is gonna do well.
All right. I think I'm picking Latifi as well. I think he's going to do a TKO at least or knockout of Olenek. But if he gets to the ground, that's not going to be it's not going to be pretty for Latifi. He doesn't have the best ground game. All right, let's move on real quick. We've got Jessica Penne versus Tabitha Ricci. And Tabitha Ricci came off of a win. She looked really good in her last fight. That chick is cut, man. She's pretty strong. We've got odds in her favor at -210 versus Jessica Penne at plus 180. And she's coming off a loss on her previous fight. So what do you got on that one?
I like Jessica Penne. Jessica Penne's from San.
You're taking
Yeah,
Penne?
Well, I said I like Jessica Penne. I didn't say I picked her. I said I like her. Can I finish? Can I finish? She's from San Diego Alliance MMA. She's a great fighter.
When I think I'm getting.
You know what? I'm going. I wasn't gonna go with Penne, but now I'm going with Penne. You pushed me against the wall.
Okay, man. I'm going with Ricci on this one. I'm okay. Now it's on, baby. It is on. All right, let's move on to the next one real quick because we do want to mention all the fighters. And let's just go. We're going to do the lightning round here real quick. So we got Joaquim Silva versus Jesse Ronson. Never seen Ronson before. I don't think I've seen either one of these guys fight before. But we've got Silva at -145. And then we have, now here's something that's blowing me away, Nando. We got to talk about this for just a second. Krzysztof Jotko versus Brendan Allen. What the heck are they doing so low on this fight card? What's going on there?
I don't know. I mean, that's a very. I mean, these guys should at least be like where Jessica Penne is or where Olenek is.
Shoot, I think they should be the second fight card, the fight of the main card. I mean, these two dudes are really good, and they're both coming off of wins. Brendan Allen's a super exciting fighter, man.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't. The only thing that makes sense to me is that they were a late placement in the card. That's the only thing that makes sense because they're way too low on this card. I'm not happy about that, but I am happy that it's going to be a really good matchup. I think it's going to be a fantastic fight, and I do have Brendan Allen winning this fight. Who do you got winning?
I'm gonna go with Jocko.
You caramba. Okay, I see what's happening here. And then we've got Maxim Grishin versus Felipe Lins from Brazil. We also have Julia Sterilenko versus Chelsea Chandler. And then last but not least, another pretty good fighter at the very, very bottom, first fight of the card is Guido Canetti versus Randy Costa. That's another surprise for me that they're at the very bottom of the card. Maybe it's to reel in eyeballs. Because that's a good fight right there. I got Randy Costa. He's at a -280 on this one, and with a +235 for Canetti. Who do you got?
Randy Costa.
All right. I'm glad you're coming to your senses again, man. I thought you're losing it for sure. All right. Well, this is going to be a good card, guys. You need to tune in and watch this because I really think it's going to be exciting. And who knows what surprises Dana White's gonna do because he blocked out the press and the public from this particular fight. Should be interesting of what's happening. Look, when you're watching the fights, look at the Apex itself. See what's out there. Who's out there? Who's in the audience? You know, is it going to be one guy? You know, is it going to be a whole bunch of family members? Who knows what it is? I have no idea, but should be interesting. But the fights are good. There's some good matchups, some dangerous matchups, and I'm going to let you send us off. Nando, send us off.
Thank you for watching Knuckle Sandwich. Team Nando with these wins and like, subscribe, tell your friends, tell everybody to watch us. We're just getting started and watch these fights. See who's in the crowd, exactly like he said. And farewell, Aspen Lad. I'm sorry.
No, that's cool. I love it. And yeah, make sure you subscribe to Knuckle Sandwich MMA. We're glad to have you guys. It's going to be a fun card. And we got this whole rest of this year is going to be amazing cards, Abu Dhabi, all kinds of different stuff going on. Going to be super
Yeah,
spectacular.
that's going to be an interesting card because there's like 7 fights that are like really big that would be main events.
Yeah. And don't forget, we started the hour with Bo Nichols. We're going to end it with Bo Nichols. Keep your eye on this kid. He may be in a flash in the pan. I don't think so, but keep an eye on him because he's looking good. And we'll see you next time on Knuckle Sandwich MMA. Ciao for now, baby. All right.
Yes, I'll have a knuckle sandwich. Yes, I'll have a knuckle sandwich.